Alright, welcome back. Another guide, another episode of our leveling guide. I've really just kind of, I'm just sort of have set up the rods here. It's actually a pretty nice little spot for mostly roach. And I really have just kind of set them up because I'm trying to figure out what we're going to do next. I kind of want to at least give Belaya a chance, a try. Which I think if we do that, we also probably work in a little bit of time at winding to at least see how we can do with a little bit of spin fishing. I'm trying to make a final decision, though, on which direction we're going to go. So right now we have 150 silver. And I believe what I want to do is actually get a spinning rod. I think it's called the Arrow. It just looks like it will pair really nicely with the Lacerti reels that we already have. So let me show you what it is. And thanks to somebody in the community, they weren't necessarily just telling me to get this reel, but they were showing me a setup that they were using at Belaya. In fact, they ran into a timing, which we don't want to do. But I noticed what rod they were using, and I went to look at it more closely, and the test is a little bit higher than you would want it to be. Starts at 6, so it's not going to be perfect for some of the lures, but I like that it has a lower test overall. The load capacity is, as far as an affordable rod goes, probably like pretty much perfect for a light kind of setup. It's actually under the medium category, but that's just because of how inexpensive it is for that load capacity. It's 2 meters long. I mean, it's yet to be seen like how far will we actually be able to cast lures with it, but again, 4.7 load capacity. We throw one of our Lacerti reels on there. It's 169 silver, so we're not quite there. What we need to do is earn silver to purchase that rod, and then also to get at least 1 or 2 lures that has a chance of working at Belaya. So for this episode, we may be just kind of doing some random fishing here. I don't know if we'll make it to Belaya this episode. Perhaps we will. Probably depends on how quiet work is. But we can at least be doing some preparatory work, if not going there in this episode. I'm trying to just finish off a couple random missions in the cafe. And also, even though none of the fish we're catching in this spot are like, what you might consider money fish, so we're not catching bream or tench or anything, we're catching pretty high quality roach here, which in general I feel like do add up. And there's just not a lot of compelling cafe orders again. So, we're already up to 20 silver, and that's without snagging a couple of these cafe orders. Let's make sure we've got plenty of time. So we definitely want to get this one right. That's 6.5 silver just for a few roach. We probably won't get there on crucian. Not seeing a lot of crucians here. We change baits, we might get more crucians. We could get this perch order, especially if we put worms on all 3 rods for a minute. That's 12 silver for tiny perch, so that's probably worth it. So maybe grab a couple of these, maybe switch baits for a minute, get a few crucian gibbles or whatever. I don't know. But the main reason why I'm fishing here is because it allows me to go to the store easily and just sort of considering what we're going to do next. But I think I've about decided to use that arrow. I kind of like the way that rod looks. I like the stats on it. It's and maybe what we should do is compare it real quick to the starter kit. Obviously, getting the starter kit, the bonus of that is that you get the it's going to be. I'm probably going to talk myself into the starter kit again here. I go back and forth. The benefit of this is you get an extra Lacerti. It's actually less expensive than that arrow rod, but it's a greater test. Slightly longer reel, so maybe we cast slightly further, but the test is higher, so we cast slightly lower. Better load capacity. I don't know. Maybe this is the smarter option value-wise. I just keep going back and forth. I really just not sure. But I like these little roach we're catching. So maybe I think one thing we could do real quick is just look at lures. Because we're at least going to need to spend, what, like 60 silver on lures, get a couple of decent ones. Probably can't, it's probably not worth justifying getting a 50 silver lure, but maybe a couple of the 25s or 30 silver lures. I don't even know if weeklies right now, might be hard to identify Belaya specifically. Best chance is probably, what, grayling? Okay, we do have some Belaya options. So that's a handmade. We're not going to be using that one. But they're all spikers, right? Which, again, the spikers are just so expensive. I mean, you could get one spiker, maybe. Okay, here we go. Here's some. All right, the 08 and the 6. So, like, the Aquila 8 and 6. Maybe we consider those. I like that 08. So let's look at lures. Who makes Aquillas? I'll just scroll to them. So the 8 is in stock. You know, that's 26 silver right there. And we at least have one little lure that we think will work well at Belaya. Less likely to get bit off at Belaya than you are winding. I don't know that we'd want to use it at winding just because of how expensive it is. A pike could just ruin our day. But we could use some of the cheaper spinner baits and stuff at winding when we go there. Kind of like to get that set of that costs 50 silver that comes with a variety, so that way we can kind of just change lures a lot. That's one of the things. If I'm going to be spin fishing, I enjoy just rotating lures a good bit. We just can't afford to get too many of the lures that will be good at Belaya. We'll just have to kind of go with one or two. Let's see if we get another perch here. I mean, I think we're just like, there's another white bream. Interesting. We're just like one perch away from committing to trying to finish that little perch order off. How many do we have right now? 2. We need 5. Again, if we switch to worms on all 3, we'd get it pretty quick, I think. There's not a little white bream order. I think there was earlier, but it's cleared off. So yeah, I mean, really what we're doing is hitting that, and roach and perch is probably the only 2 things we're set up for at the moment. And then that gives us 23. That we probably could just afford the basic spinning setup and maybe that one lure. I don't know. How much does a Lacerti cost by itself? I'm just trying to think about how good a deal this is. So that's almost 100 silver. And again, if we get the kit and it comes with 100 silver Lacerti, that becomes our 3rd feeder spinning reel at some point. And we'll just purchase an extra one of these. So at that point, we're just 83 silver away from having our 3rd feeder set up, basically. And we could even get this one. I like those Kama Comforts. Good little, little risky, but pretty good little starter bream feeders. So that's what we're using on rod 1 and 2 here. Another nice roach. All right, let's try to go for the perch a little bit. But right now there's a white bream spot that we can at least try at Belaya, and so it just seems like an especially good time to go for testing out Belaya spin fishing, since there is a species we can try to catch on feeder as well. So we have 2 feeders set up in the same relative area that we're going to want to be spin fishing. And that doesn't always work out that way, so All right, let's see if we got a perch here. Nope, still catching roach. We are still using the roach ground bait, but now that we switched to worm, I think we will eventually hit a couple more perch. We'll see. And then I guess if it gets to be nighttime, we maybe want to catch some bream. I mean, if we can go get some decent fish out of our normal bream spot, that'd be the quickest way to start, you know, bumping our silver up a little bit. Is there... I don't know if there's any lures that come with that stand out as like, oh, that'd probably be good at Belaya. Maybe this one is small. Maybe this one too. Do we already have that one? Is that one of the ones that gives you in the beginning now? No, it gives you this one. Now, I know some people just go to Belaya and use their free setup. I'm trying to resist doing that because I think if you're a new player, going to Belaya and just throwing in this sucker, you know, just asking for trouble. It can work. It's the cheapest way to do it, but I don't think it's ideal. I want that arrow, but I think I've just about... I think the... going with the kit is just the safer play. If we really get into it, we can always get the arrow afterwards. Probably wouldn't, unless there's just a real casting problem with that one, but... I think it's... Yeah, there's another perch. I think it's a responsible thing for us to test that beginner spinning kit. I'm pretty sure I haven't ever done that in one of these series. So I think that just makes sense. Yeah, now we're hitting the perch. We want to switch this right back over to pearl barley as soon as we get our 5th perch. And go turn that cafe order in. I did not mean to do that. So we have enough silver to get that kit, and then with what fish we've caught now and a cafe order, do we have enough to get the... I don't think we have enough to get the Aquila and travel. It's going to be close. We may or may not need to bream fish. I wonder if this spot is better at night at Belaya. I bet it is because it's catching white bream. So we could start off doing that and then switch over to spin fishing once it's morning if we get to a point where it's nighttime but we have enough silver to move. Make some more roach ground bait soon. Okay. Well, it's good to know. You know, they do have those really small white bream orders. that come up, it would be totally easy to finish that order in this spot on just worm. You're going to catch plenty of perch and white bream here. Using a 14 all the way to 24 size hook. If you use 24 hook, you'll catch more white bream. Or 22 or whatever. Alright, switching back to pearl barley, so we should get more roach instead of these tiny perch now. We're going to try casters. Okay. No big perch, huh? So there's 12 silver right there. That is awesome. And then we can do this whenever we want. We do have... Oh, yeah, we should just do it. We've got 3 non-markers now. So that's good. And then I think we can just sell... 27, is that enough? 196. Let's get the kit and the lure, and then we'll see how close we are to travel cost. So we want the spinning universal start, and we're gonna try that Aquila, I think. The 8, right? Yeah, I think we're good still. Alright, let's see if... do we have an extra... So we probably do want a leader on. Again, we're going to be in the same boat we were with the other stuff. Did we just use 3.2? Probably. Classic leaders. Ooh, yeah, we could use 3.2. I think that's fine. Okay, so let's cast it one time to see if it casts okay. If it doesn't cast very far, I don't know. It's probably too late to turn back now, but it's definitely going to be disappointing. If it doesn't cast very far, it's going to be more usable at winding than mosquito. I mean, sorry, than Belaya. Hey, it's a gibble. Alright, we'll go ahead and get stuff out of the water here. Alright, let's do real fast retrieval speed so we don't catch anything. We don't want to get a pike here. Alright, how far will it cast? Oof. It's not very far, is it? Okay, one thing we can do is we could go ahead and put our 2 points into this. We at least can put 1 point, right? Let's see how much of a difference. Is that far enough to catch fish at Belaya? I just don't know that it is. Unfortunately. It's a really short cast. So. But we can try some of the bigger lures. We might still be able to catch fish. It just won't be, probably won't be as good. I say we try it though. We'd still have that 1 more point. I just don't know that even 1 more point makes that much of a difference. 8.9 silver to travel there. Hopefully we'll catch a couple white bream and at least pay for travel cost. If we can't catch any, you know, actually spin fish for fish here. I'm tempted to just, well, let's see. 72.61 is what we're looking for. They actually were using... Do we just want to use the bream? We have so much of it. I think we do. So let's go to 7261, which is where? Oh, wait. It's way up here. And then... Alright, so somewhere like around here. Alright, and I think they were using a 10 clip. So let's try this out. Keep it on basic bottom. 3.2. Yeah, let's just see if it works. And then on this one, we're going to try same hook size, but we're going to try bloodworm. 10 clip. I think that's what they were using, was worm and bloodworm. We'll just see if we get any bites. I don't know if this is correct or not, but we'll test it out. And then let's see if we can catch any fish on this. So one of the spots that's nice to try is the one, well, anywhere around this rock, which since that one's closer, we probably should try that one first. Alright, let's see if we catch anything other. I mean, what's the off catch going to be here? Gibbles, okay. Once it's nighttime, we'll go check the cafe and we'll see what's in stock here. But right now, let's just try to... I don't really know what we want to do retrieval-wise. Look how close that is. I'm used to, on my main account, throwing it past that rock. So, this is interesting. Like, if we're going to get a fish, it's going to be right there where it lands. Yeah. Oh, there was a fish. What was that? It looked like a roach, but that couldn't have been a roach. So we did get one fish to at least look at it. Alright, so worm is getting a much more active bite so far than bloodworm, but we'll see once it turns nighttime. I'm not sure about that bloodworm. I'm not sure if I have that right or not, but that's what it looks like it says. Alright, let's cast it up here a little bit. I'll switch lures in a minute here. If we could cast it further, this would be... These Achillas work pretty well here. I think the problem with the lures that are actually going to cast reasonably far is that the bite rate may be really low on them. Alright, so let's try this one. So that went a little farther. Even it's still underweight though. Remember, our test on this is 10 grams. But a 10-gram lure is a pretty big lure for Belaya, I think. For a spinnerbait. Do we even have any 10-gram? No. Yeah, this might be a disaster. We might can get some traction at winding with this setup. I just don't know about Belaya. We'll try some spots though. I mean, I'm pretty sure people do catch some fish here. even though they are using gear that's not ideal. I guess one thing we could do is look on, what's the test on this? Oh, so you do get the right test. The load capacity is only 2 kilo. We're going to be able to throw stuff a lot farther, though. I hate to do it, but let's try it one time. This is where we hook into fish that we just won't be able to catch. But watch how much farther this will go. A good bit farther. We'd be better off just throwing on a spark on here, wouldn't we? Still plenty of strength for what it is. Yeah, so no bites on bloodworm. And that may be a translation issue. It says bloodworm, but that's like Google trying to translate the Russian into English, so I'm not 100% sure on that. No, let's try this one again. We at least don't have to listen to the clicking, right? Well, we came here with hopes and dreams, and I'm not sure that it's going to work out. Okay, let's try a little farther down before we start hitting the panic button. I mean, we would have gotten a little bit more distance out of the arrow. I just don't know that it would have been how substantial a difference it would have been. It's still over test for the ultralight size lures, but it's not as much as the one we actually went with. And as much as it was help, we, at this low level with as much feeder fishing as we're doing, we just can't afford to put points in fishing with a spinning rod. We can put points in spinning reel because it goes across all types, but so spin fishing might be a little better for us at winding than here because the distances aren't as critical. You just want to be able to get it out past a certain spot here to hit the spots where the fish are waiting on it. I am a little surprised we just haven't caught anything yet. I mean, we had that one fish chase it, but I guess we can put the Aquila back on. Just try to get lucky on something right in front of us. We'll slow the retrieval speed way down so it stays out there a little longer. Maybe go to 18. Let it sit as much as possible. Lots of pauses. We actually probably, instead of pausing, should just do straight retrieval on 18. Normally I would pause, I would speed up and all that, but you know, a lot of times you're covering 3-4 times as much or more distance because of the casting difference using an ultralight setup or a light setup. And it's getting to be nighttime, so our chances are going to go down naturally anyway. All right, let's do this. Let's do one more cast in the typical spot. If we don't catch something, we'll switch to 3 feeders, I think. And until we actually catch something on bloodworm, I'm going to put worm on the 3rd feeder for sure. We'll just have bloodworm on 1, see if anything happens. We'll also put a smaller hook on the other feeder. We are using pretty big hooks over there to be going for white bream. I think basically the people who are doing that there are just trying to sit on a trophy to mark it off their trophy card. For us, we'd much rather catch volume, try to make some silver. Maybe we shouldn't even do that pause, not even let it sink. And with this short of distance, just start retrieving as soon as it hits the surface. We'll try that first thing in the morning when it's light again. We're not going to catch anything in the dark here, I don't think. Yeah, so we just start retrieving as soon as it hits the water. It stays up near the surface for this short little distance back to us. We could even go slower. 18. I mean, as long as it's quick enough to keep it towards the top, we could even slow the retrieval down more than this. All right. Oh, we did catch something on bloodworms. That's exciting. Let's see what it is. If that's a white bream, we're in business. Oh, man. Yeah, maybe we will go bloodworms. Slower bite rate, but it actually caught the fish we wanted, and that was... For this, our leveling account here, that's the biggest white bream we've ever caught, right? Maximum number of fish caught for one day. That's because we were fishing off the dock at Mosquito for most of this day. All right, so we're going to switch to our 3rd feeder. We'll put the ground bait on there. We've got plenty of it, and we'll go to a more like appropriate size. We'll do 16 with bloodworm and see what this does. Might be pretty slow, but when we catch a fish, hopefully it will be a white bream. Pretty high percentage of white bream is what we're hoping. And we do want to go check out Cafe, see if we're going to get lucky on white bream or gibbles or anything. And then I also want to check their stock on leaders. So we're 1 gibble away from that order. We could switch to roach bait and try to hit 1 or both of those orders. That'd be a lucky catch here for us, I think. A 1.2 roach, but... And we've already made... Oh, we don't need administration. We've already made 6.4 silver. Have we paid for travel costs? Just about. Alright, what does leaders look like? Let's look at feeder leaders first. Oh, yeah. So we want to get enough silver to buy 3 of these. Oh, they've got all of them. We also could get one of these. And that one's cheap anyway. Is that fluorocarbon? No, that's nylon. Never mind. Oh, these are all out of stock. Okay, that makes sense. That makes more sense. So if anybody is fishing at Belaya this week... Oh, there's a roach. So roach on bloodworm. Okay, that's cool. If anybody is fishing at Belaya this week, has any suggestions on inexpensive lures or spots for spin fishing especially, let me know. I don't know how long we'll stay, like episode to episode at Belaya, but we might do a little bit of spin fishing if we can get something going either here or at Winding. I will be right back. So we're getting a interesting range of fish here. So, is there an inexpensive 10-gram lure that would actually catch something here at Belaya, like reasonably well? That's like the number 3s. Those are such big lures for this place, I feel like. Even the larger Achillas aren't 10 grams. That's why the arrow would have been better. It at least would allow us to try the larger Achillas and stuff. Hornet 3. Those are so expensive, though. I mean, this would be an inexpensive try just to see, like, if we could get lucky on something. I don't know, though. I mean, it's only 5 silver, but silver is hard to come by at the moment. really am wondering if winding might be the answer if we're wanting to do a little bit of spin fishing pre-quarry. Goodness. Try this spot right here next to the cafe. I think first thing in the morning. So what's the difference? All right, it's not going to hurt anything. We were going to put the points in it anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and put a fourth point in spinning reel. Maybe we get a couple more meters out of our cast. And I suppose we're going to break this rod if we're not careful. I suppose we try to cast with this one. We're going to get it a little farther with that one, right? As far as the Aquila goes. I mean, on this one, we probably ought to only do the heavier ones. We could try this one. These two, maybe. Is that line moving? I think it is. Alright, finally a fish on the smaller hook bloodworm. See if it's a white bream. Yeah. Okay. I just wonder if like maybe a 12 or a 10 hook would be a little better. Again, we're not necessarily wanting to sit on the trophies. We did get the one really nice 422 though. Yeah, if you're trying to get the trophy here, this is the spot for you. You're just kind of sitting on it, waiting for it. Yeah, this will be a decent one if it's a white. Just barely a marker. Nope, close. Yeah, once it's daytime, we probably just put the, maybe put pearl barley on here and try to catch a few roach. Try to salvage it a little bit here in terms of silver. Wait, I didn't really make that many, did I? No, that one's not. Some of these are... I left the name on there, but we didn't actually... I need to be careful. We might actually just be using... Yeah, we're just using ground crackers right now on all of our ground bait. That's funny. I knew we made a few of these, but we didn't make that many. Well, maybe that'll help. We'll put some actual ground bait in there. Gibble? Nice gibble. Start spin fishing at 5 a.m. We'll just give it a little bit more time and just see if we can get anything going. There we go. That actually is awesome. So as soon as we put that piece of real ground bait on there, we got a really nice white bream. This is also the time you would think they're most likely to come in, early in the morning here. 4 to 6, 7 a.m., something like that. So I think of our large ones, one of them now was on worm and one of them was on bloodworm. Yep. It's getting a nibble. It's that first line again, I think. I mean, overall, we've definitely caught more fish on worm than bloodworm, but that first decent-sized white bream came on bloodworm, so I think we put bloodworm on the third one too, didn't we? Yeah, it might have been better having 2 worms. Alright, we're about ready to move, so let's go ahead and pull this one in. Not move, but go experiment with spin fishing again. We're going to start with the old spinning rod. I feel like one of these is about to get a fish, though. I guess we could throw this 1 or 2 times over here. Just real quick. So let's do 18. normally you'd want to like hold shift to get the speed up and then do some pauses and then keep it going. It's just a little hard to get all that in with the short retrieval. But maybe we're better off still doing those things. Try to attract a fish quickly as possible. Hopefully we don't get snagged here in this stuff. Okay. Okay, we'll keep the white bream set up on just a little bit longer, but I am going to go start casting down here a few times. Even if we could just get like one 1 kilo chub or something. Or just any fish. Would actually be fine with a perch at this point. Oh my goodness, we caught a fish. Something worked. Even if we don't get it in, at least we hooked into something, right? Kind of feels like a small chub. Let's see what it is. Yeah, I think it is a little chub. Is it even a marker? Oh, it's an asp. Interesting. Okay. Well, that happened. It's kind of like, so you're saying there's a chance. Kind of a long ways fishing down here in that spot. Look at that. They really are coming in here. I don't know if those white bream are worth anything, but that's interesting. The big size white bream are really coming in. It's a nice little spot. I'm sure that's worth doing. Oh, whoa, that's possible right now. That is actually possible. Oh yeah, those are good. Those are good. I mean, you're not going to catch that many per day, but still, I mean, it's not a bad little deal. All right, let's try this a couple more times. And then I'll wait and get a couple suggestions from the Belaya experts. Oh man, fish nibbled on it. Lost interest though. Alright, let's try one thing before I switch to the other. We're going to do a cast or two with the other rod as well. But let's just try this. Let's just go. This is a faster retrieval speed. We won't do speed up. We won't stop. We'll just do a faster retrieval speed straight in. See if we can get something to hit it. I don't think so. Which, if we're doing that, maybe we should cast it this way. Bring it back up the current, against the current. Ooh, nice hit. Right in front of us. It's a decent grayling. That's what we want to see, right? That was perfect. That was actually perfect. It's one of the benefits of fishing here. It's not quite as clear as Corey. It's even better at Corey for that, but a lot of times you can see those strikes right at your feet. Clear, fairly clear water. It's pretty exciting. So we're doing retrieval speed 30 for what it's worth, bringing it back up against the current, which we're hoping will be an appealing look for the fish. Let's cast straight east. Okay. Well, if it's not a timing, it's probably a marker. Now the question begins to be, can we get it in? So it's been on for a minute here. I'm going to take a chance of walking down. We want to use the current against the fish. Right now, we're fighting the current and the fish. We want to try to fight just the fish and try to use the current to our benefit. So we're going to try to talk this fish into turn right here, and hopefully not get spooled. How much line do we have on? Exactly 100 meters. We could have 20 more meters with a little bit nicer line, but this spool only has 100 meters on it. I think it's still going left for the most part, so well, at least we get one exciting fish here before the end. We're getting mighty low on line, but, you know, not a lot we can do. I mean, I guess we can try to fight it a little bit here. Take back a little bit of line as it lets us, but it's either going to come in or not. It's getting a little tired. We might have a chance here. Let's pump it up into the red for a second. Yeah, I mean, we've gotten enough line back. Even if it starts fighting again, we're probably safe now. But we've got the momentum, so we're not going to stop unless it really starts pulling. Let's hope it doesn't pop off. Ah, it's pulling a little bit. Let's be careful. There we go. Reminds me of being at Yama. So what's best case scenario? It's a big grayling. Most likely it's a chub, but we'll see. Oh, that is a grayling. Looks like a pretty nice one. Gotta lift it a little bit. It's tired, poor fella. Poor fella. A 2.5 grayling. That is very nice. Oh, and it didn't show up in chat, so it'll be a surprise for everybody. Okay. I'm sure there's no grayling order, right? Let's see if these grayling are worth the amount of time. Yeah, look at that. 23 silver for that one fish. So if you hit it big, you hit it big, right? So we ended up with, what, 47 silver? Okay, I think that can justify us spending another episode here. We'll take our chances. We'll try it again, I think. Okay, thanks for watching. Belaya Part 1, I guess. I will see you next time.